Good morning. Yes. Well, I don't expect this to be any close to perfect. I didn't plan what I was going to say, but I want to start at the beginning. So I was born in Washington State in June 1st, 1972. And just a minute ago. Sometimes it feels like a long time, sometimes it feels like yesterday. I guess that's the perspective of time. Anyway, in 72, there were a lot of great things happening and a lot of uh, tumult and beginnings and endings in the world. And that was my beginning. I was born to Lana and Ed was in school. He was taking his master's in biology and had just been accepted at Longland University to start dental school. And my mother, Lana, was a nurse at that time, and she was working as a nurse. And after she had me, she chose to stay home from then on to take care of me. And they were very much in love. They always were my entire lives. They were very closely connected. My mother is a narcissist, as I call it. I don't think she was ever diagnosed as that. It's more just a way of looking at the toxicity that she exhibited. My father loved me as much as he knew how. And I guess my mother did too, in her own way. So I was born in a hospital in Washington State, and my mother had a doctor that she really liked there at the hospital. And the doctor was going to be out of town for the weekend and not available to help her. And the other doctor that was available, taking his place, was she did not like the doctor at all. He was an alcoholic, as well as other issues. Her being a nurse, she knew about all the doctors in the area. So she decided to get induced and to have me a few days early so that she could be with her doctor that she wanted. It's an example of thinking more about yourself than your baby or anything else that is going on in your life. And on the other hand, maybe the universe wanted me to be born that day, June 1st, to have that astrology chart of birth, etc. So it all worked out. So as my mother went to the hospital to have me, and it was on a Thursday, I believe, a few days before, one of her close friends had had a baby and was still in the hospital. The baby's name is Karen, and we are still friends to this day. Our mothers were friends in the hospital. In fact, when Karen was born, she had some medical complications that kept her in the hospital longer than she had expected, or her mother had expected. So while she was there, my dad, getting ready for my birth, my dad and her mom went and had some ice cream together. They had a fun time together as friends, getting ready for my birth and being with my friend. I also had another friend that was born at the same hospital on the same day. And so it's interesting that 3 of us were born at the same time in the same place. I guess that is the first moment in my life that was unique and special and planned in some way. So my mother, when she was giving birth, she was not planning on using any medications. But during my birth, without her knowledge, the doctor gave her a sedative. And the sedative actually pushed her out of her body so that she was in the corner of the room watching me be born. So during my birth, my mother was having out-of-body experience. She felt it was due to the medication. But it was the story that I heard as a child over and over and over again, how uncomfortable my mother was during my birth, how she was in the corner of the room watching an out-of-body experience. And so even though I was raised in a very conservative church that didn't believe in those kind of things at all, it was an opportunity for me to it was the first time that I was exposed to the concept of the body being separate from the soul. And it's something that I was told very often as a child. And for my mother, it was negative. She was out of control. But I think it was one of the first things that helped me not be afraid of those kind of things. I've never been afraid of spirits and ghosts and out of body and any of those kind of things, because it was just always a major part of the story of my life. So I wanted to share that, because how are you with the concept of a fear around spirituality? Are you able to embrace it, or do you still have some fears that you're releasing? I think a lot of people have different fears on different levels. And the fears that we create in our lives manifest in our lives. And we see them quite clearly. So I'm really grateful that I never had any fear related to out of body or my birth. So the story of my birth, in Washington State, I was born. Right now I am 52 and a half. And it's a wonderful time to be alive. Definitely as I go along, I'll share how different things that happened in my life affected the way that I think and feel about things today. So I have always had a very strong and loyal aspect to a few good friends, and I think that's part of my personality. And then also, that I'm not afraid of things that other people maybe are normally afraid of, but I am afraid of some things of my own that I'm working on releasing. So the birth happened, and everything went smoothly. I had 10 fingers and 10 toes. I think my dad counted to make sure they were all there, and I was a very healthy baby as we went along. So the next story that I want to tell is our move to California and the adventure that we went on there.